Hey guys, this is Darren here at Northwest Marine coming at you with my first video on my 180 gallon reef build. Not quite done with it. I've got some more equipment I've got to put in, but I thought I'd just take a video and show you what I've done so far, since I told you I was going to get this to you, but I haven't. So sorry about that. Been busy lately. Anyway, this tank is 6 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot. I've got about 180 pounds of Fiji and reef rock in here. I went to my local fish store and picked up 4 pieces of this shelf reef rock right here. It's great for stacking up this for my corals. I took about 30 pounds of Fiji rock out of my 300 gallon tank and put it in here. So that's where I got the 180 pounds for. I went ahead and it'll help seed it a lot better. So when I first built this wall here, I wound up building it vertically up, and I had talked to a couple of people on this. I had talked to Scott at Mile High Reefers and sent him a couple pictures, and he gave me his input, as well as a Cyber Aquarist. Now he's helped me a lot on this. So I went ahead and tore it down and re-aquascaped it so I could go ahead and put my corals on here and stagger them at different heights. So thank you very much for your help on that. As far as the equipment goes, I'm running the Ecotech power heads, the MP40s, one on each side. Take a look over here. Now these power heads are great. They're quiet, they're efficient, and I like the fact that the cords are on the outside and not on the inside. So they're easy to maintain. You've got no cord sticking out of the water in the back right there, just on the sides. As far as the lighting goes, we'll take a look here. Now I'd wanted to go with the Kessel AP700s, but it wasn't within my budget. So my local fish store is running these Evergrow IT2081s on here. Now a lot of you guys probably haven't heard of them, but they're close to the Radions, but not as expensive. And like I said, the Kessels weren't within my budget. That's maybe something I can get down the road, but with all the equipment that I've got, I really couldn't afford it at this point. So when I set these up, I put them on the default mode, and of course I had a huge algae bloom. The whites were on way too long, and the photo period was in excess of what I should be. So Cyber Aquarist, he went ahead and gave me a actinic and a white spectrum timing on here. I dialed the lights down and got rid of the algae, because when I got that algae bloom, it seemed like overnight, boom, it just hit. And I've gotten rid of it and got it under control. But these lights seem to do the job pretty well. I had to modify the brackets to get underneath this canopy here, as I couldn't suspend the lights because, like I said, it does have a canopy. So as far as the equipment underneath, the support system, let's take a look at what we got here. I'm running an external protein skimmer, the Reef Octopus, the RPS 2000. I just cleaned the cup out here. So because this is an external protein skimmer, in case it went crazy on me one day, I didn't want it to leak and go all over the place, I picked up this waste mate, this Reef Octopus. And if you take a look at here, for some of you guys that don't have the external skimmers, this little ball here looks like a ping pong ball. If I get too much of an overflow, it'll come down here, come into here, and that ping pong ball will go up to the top and stop it from overflowing. It's hooked up to a float switch right here. So if something does go haywire on here, this will turn the skimmer completely off. We had to modify this. Here's my wastegate right here. When I ran this protein skimmer for the first couple of weeks, it was just overflowing big time. So I had to go ahead and get the proper pump. I'm running an Eheim Compact 2000, which gives me about 500 GPH per hour. which is what it calls for this protein skimmer. And if you look down there, I'm running the return pump. I'm running the Vectra M1. Now, if you guys don't have this pump, take a look at it. If you want to add this pump later on, whether it be the M1 or the D, the larger pump, if it's within your budget, I'd recommend getting it. It's so quiet and it's strong. So what I did is I hooked up a check valve to it. Will stop it from overflowing. Now the sump here is 75-gallon sump. Take a look here. I'm going to use this as a refugium in the middle here. And I'm going to go ahead and add my BRS, my GFO and carbon reactor in here, as well as my biopellet reactor. So I'll hook those two items up here probably within the next week. As far as the plumbing goes, I've got 2 returns and 1 drain on each side coming across over here and running the distance on this side here. So I put these ball valves in here, 1 on each side. I had a friend of mine help me up the plumbing here, so I can shut it off on each side if I want to. And we went ahead and went with unions on here. It makes it easier to take apart. This is coming down onto my drain, into my drip tray rather. And right under here, I'm running the pond matrix. This stuff is great. It's very macroporous, more macroporous than the marine block. So I put it in a mesh bag right here. And once I get more of a bio load, I'll be able to get a better rating on my nitrates. But so far they're low. I picked up this sump from a friend of mine, and the guy took this drip plate right here and he drilled several holes in it. You can take a look. So it's really nice where the water won't just clog in one spot right there. It drips down in. And I cut the pads on here, so I didn't cut it all the way to the end of the drip tray because I didn't want it to have a chance of getting too dirty and overflowing, so I just cut it short of here so it gives water plenty of area to drain down below. I'm pretty happy with the setup. It's clean. It's got a lot more room on this system underneath than I do on my 300 gallon. And like I said, guys, with this Vectra pump, it's very quiet. You can hear this right now cascading down here, but when I close these doors here, you don't really hear it at all. It's very quiet. Put a couple of lights in here so I can see what I'm doing. Went ahead and because this is an external protein skimmer, we put a bulkhead fitting right here. Attach some tubing coming down into this is what my refugium is, right here. And I've also got a Jaeger 300 heater. So it keeps it within 77 to 80 degrees. Try to situate all my wiring down here. Keep it out of the way, off the floor, in case something did go haywire and I did get a leak in here. But like I said, I wanted to get this waste made here, made by Reef Octopus, because I didn't want to take a chance of it overflowing. I just dialed down my protein skimmer a little bit, but it's working very well. I just emptied my collection cup about an hour ago. As far as the, I'm running a bubble blaster on here also. This is what calls for the protein skimmer on this one. Had a little bit of issues when I first got it. The float switch was defective, so I had to have Bulk Reef Supply send me another one back. They took care of me. And like I said, I had to tweak this for about 2 weeks, and I opened my wastegate all the way open, so I had to wind up putting a small valve on my my E-heim to dial this down, so it stopped this protein from just bubbling over. So now I got that under control. Anyway, guys, hope you like what you see. I'll probably be adding some more fish in the next month or so, but as well as getting more corals in here. I'm basically going to run softies in here, soft corals, as well as LPS in here. Once I get experience, I'll go ahead and start dabbling in some SPS. But for now, starting off here, I'm just going to stay with the LPS and the softies. Gonna pick up some more snails. I'm going to get some black-footed trocheus. My LFS has a sale going on next week. We've got a few snails in here right now. We've got about 10 Astrea snails and about 8 turbo snails, the smaller version. Everybody seems to be getting along here so far. I've got a fire shrimp and a couple of peppermint shrimp in here, but they're hiding under there. Anyway, guys, hope you like what you see. If you like it, hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate it. Any comments are welcome. You guys have a good night.